Kyrie most recently turned 18. Her parents like to go abroad. Because of what she lives in a big house. Only literature does not allow you to get bored. She has one dream to become loved. And today, something new will happen in her life. She will meet the same writer. And she's Jonathan's teachers. He found inspiration in this remote town. Cairo comes to class before anyone else. This surprises Jonathan, and he asks, "Where does she live?" They tell each other about their lives. Jonathan is amazed that Cairo read the whole curriculum. Cairo jokingly replies, "What like's tougher?" Then walks into the office, Winnie, and takes her friend to talk. While they're not, Jonathan reviews Cairo books. He gets distracted by Boris. He got it right away that Jonathan is reading a girl book. Since her plot is very vulgar, guys wouldn't read it. By the flow of circumstances, Cairo likes to read a book written by Jonathan. He lives with his wife, Beatrice. She is also a writer. He tells that her student is reading his book. Duet starts dancing, but they get distracted by a call from Emmy. A new day is coming. Teachers rest, sitting on a bench and sipping coffee. Boris is interested. Do ghosts live in the forest? A second later, Cairo comes out of the forest and walks right up to the teachers. Boris offers cookies, and Jonathan can't look away from Cairo. A little later, he isn't trying to get Boris' attention. She's straight up talking that she is interested in their communication. Cairo calls her crazy. After lessons, girlfriends get together. Cairo confesses that it's hard for her to find a theme for a future book. Winnie offers to survive, a moment that will help in writing the topic. For example, intrigues with teachers. The problem is that neither of them had a serious relationship. Vinny wants her first date to be with Boris. Cairo needs to understand, too, that Mr. Jonathan looks at her somehow in a special way. But Cairo denies everything, and the rest of the day she's reading Jonathan's book. And during lessons, they can't look away from each other. Jonathan asks to stop by after class, and in Cairo's head spin one and also desire. Get all his attention. A little later, Jonathan decides to dance a little. But he gets distracted by Cairo. She promises not to give out his crush to anyone. Jonathan offers to go to a poetry circle. Suddenly, something will surprise her. He read her last work. And he really liked her. Cairo burns with shame and explains. What was her work about? Jonathan wants to write a story in the style of her favorite author. Cairo takes the assignment, complimenting that she fully read his book. Then repeats some phrases, which she liked the most. Jonathan doesn't even know what to answer him. Ira interrupts the awkward pause and asks for forgiveness, when suddenly Winnie walks into the office, and the duet ends the conversation. Today, teachers and Beatrice visit cafe. Their works, and Winnie. Boris makes fun of the girl. And Beatrice is interested. How pretty is the girl? Who read his book? He replies that she is very smart and unique. Beatrice decides to declare that Jonathan is not a writer. He chose to work as a teacher. After that day, he didn't write a new book anymore. Tomorrow, Cairo attends Writer's Circle. She feels that this day will be very significant for her. Jonathan is happy to see her. A guy comes on stage and reads his piece. Jonathan listens to him carefully, but Cairo looks exclusively at Jonathan. Tomorrow, she brings the teachers coffee. Boris and shares his cookie. Kira doesn't get it. Why does Boris make so yummy cookies? But doesn't tell anyone about it. He could sell it. Winnie will be able to make a logo. Today, the girls walked in on Jonathan. He tells that he's going to go on vacation with his wife. Winnie sees the duo communicating cutely with each other. And when the teacher comes out, she proposes to Kira, take the first step and seduce Jonathan. Their conversation is interrupted by Boris. He decided to sell cookies. Winnie quickly joins their team. She only needs his number. This afternoon, Cairo called Jonathan. He promised her that before leaving will stop by her. Cairo reasoning that when love is real, she's quiet and imminent. A couple hours later, Jonathan comes to Cairo. She leaves the house, dressed in a white dress. All Jonathan can stand and watch. How does she go to him? Cairo stops and asks to approach her. Jonathan still stands still, and then Cairo takes the first step, followed by a kiss. When he got home, he constantly gets messages from Cairo. Beatrice is annoying alerts. This is forcing Jonathan to leave for the barn. There he starts reading Cairo's new book. He got carried away and represents that the main characters are them. Unable to resist, He's doing a dirty thing. A new day is coming. Cairo notices Jonathan's strange behavior. She asks what happened to him. Does Jonathan reply that she needs to pick a new author? She states that he asked to write a book about the topic, which she knows. Jonathan is asking, is it true she knows it? Does Cairo reply? What is it they seeing how confused he is? Cairo calls. What is this about two similar people denying social restrictions? Jonathan still thinks this book is too adult. Cairo sure he's too scared. They are not strangers now. Jonathan trying to explain that she is his student and he is a Cairo teacher still wants recognition. That work is good. Just Jonathan doesn't want to admit it and calls Jonathan redundant. But without ambition, he could be far better. But he's irresponsible now. Before leaving, she leaves her history in the administration drawer. Evening meet girlfriends, Winnie asks. Does she like Jonathan? Cairo calls him imitation of gas station sushi. But she still loves him. At this time, Beatrice finds out what did his student write. But he doesn't confess. Who was the story written about? Beatrix manages to persuade to talk about the work. Cairo invites Vidna to write to Boris. She does that. He came to visit the family of Jonathan and Adris. Notices Boris texting someone, but he will not tell who it is. The conversation is starting to go in a different direction, and Boris is putting the phone away. Jonathan got a call from the administration and accused of having an inappropriate relationship with Kyra. But he denies everything. He understands that if she manages to prove that they had something, he will be able to lose his job. Beatrice compliments that not only work and asks to tell the truth. Jonathan swears what was nothing. Tomorrow, Cairo is skipping lessons. Winnie looks very confused. She's trying to get Jonathan feel guilty, but he looks as chill as possible. Later, Cairo comes to the principal and describes their adventures. Jonathan has to defend himself. He is lucky that their stories match. Cairo answers the final question. What happened about her that she wouldn't like it? Obviously, Jonathan doesn't know. What did she reply? And this question confused him a lot. On break, Boris understands that Jonathan fell in love with Karira. He is unlucky. What does he not see the line, which cannot be crossed? That's exactly why he got into such a mess. On returning home already, Beatrice asks her questions. Beatrice doesn't believe his lies. Jonathan couldn't deny that a spark flew between them and Cairo. This became the last straw. Beatrice is going to file for divorce. Winnie comes to Cairo and asks not to hurt Jonathan. It will ruin his life, just for the sake of that. To get revenge that he rejected her, Winnie will stand up for Jonathan and say that Cairo is lying. Does she reply fast? That Winnie won't be able to do that. She has dirt on her and Boris. When Kira finishes writing a book about her and Jonathan, movie ends.